Cyvatar is dedicated to, diversity, equity, inclusion. And being that it's, in light of Hispanic Heritage Month, we wanted to reach out to some of our clients, right? And Hello Iconic was one of them that, came first to mind, being that, it's a minority owned company and, the founders of the company are Hispanic. So we thought it would be a great opportunity to, shed light not only on Hello Iconic and what you all do, but, kind of what does Hispanic Heritage Month mean to you all, and how you guys incorporate that into your model over there at Hello Iconic. So Alejandro, if you don't mind sharing, real quick, kind of, I know you're the CEO and founder over there for Hello Iconic, right? If you can kind of share what exactly it is that you all do, as well as what again Hispanic Heritage Month means to you individually, and how are you guys implementing diversity, equity, inclusion today at your company?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So Hello Iconic is a software development company. We build basically digital products for our clients. So anything from web applications to API platforms, mobile applications in different industries like fintech, like cybersecurity for Cyvatar, and entertainment like TV applications, some video games sometimes. So depending on the industry of our clients, we set up teams to work with them. We are really structured around product. So we have a product management team that works with development, design, testing, and all around the product and aligning with the founders of the companies we work with. So one of the things of the company, as you mentioned, we are Latinos, and we are, first generation, like Jorge and I, we both moved from Honduras directly to the US just 5 years ago, or 5, to start the business here, like the US operation of the company. We had been working in the company for a while, but we decided to move to the US because the opportunity was here, or all of our clients were already here. So we are, in a transition also on adopting the US as our new home. Right. And Hispanic Heritage Month is something that really, we have seen it as we got deeper into the culture here. We've seen it over the years and became, as we work with clients and our team, we're all Latinos, and in our clients, we highlight sometimes when we work with clients that are also Hispanic. And that creates a bond between the company and the partnership we create with them. So I think that's in short what we have seen. But also, I don't know, Jorge, if you want to add something also about the diversity also in the company, not only on culture, but gender and everything we've been doing over the years.
Yeah. I think I'm going to touch a little bit about the Hispanic Heritage Month, and then also about diversity and inclusion, as you were mentioning. Well, I think the Hispanic heritage has been really important to us. Now that we're here and we've seen the importance of the Latino or Hispanic community to the US economy, we are probably the fastest growing cohort demographic in the US, the highest consumer in the US, for example. We are one of the one that is buying more homes, things like that. So basically, it's for us is really important because we are Latinos that are buying homes, that are spending, that are creating a business here, creating jobs. Yes. So being part of that, I think it's super important. Also, the fact of being Latino has given us a good network. I, for example, am alumni of the Stanford Latino Entrepreneurship Initiative. And us as a company are members of the Latino Business Action Network and Stanford Latino Entrepreneurship Initiative. And that has actually given us contacts, that has given us business opportunities, clients. We have referred clients to others. So I think that's something that is super, super important. We're very involved on the business side with the Latino community here in the US. So I think that's one thing that it's important. The second part is our initiatives on diversity and inclusion. So this is something that we have taken very seriously over the years. So we have done not only for diversity in terms of being Latino or whatnot, but actually more than that, women, for example, we have a strong women program we call Iconic Women, where we has three simple goals: bringing more women to the company, helping them grow in the company to senior positions, and then bringing more women to the industry, to the technology and product industry. It has transformed us from having, I don't know, less than 10% women to now we have almost 40% women in the company in all areas: development, design, product management. Many have moved already to senior position. One of our associate partners is a woman as well. So you start to see a lot of that on the initiatives that we have. And just in general, diversity and inclusion, we are diverse. We always support different initiatives, Black History Month, Great Gay Pride celebrations, Latino celebrations. We are a diverse community. Actually, one of the analysis that we're doing is many of our clients, or all of our clients, are very diverse and very open, which is actually something that we didn't do it because of that, but we have noticed that that's a characteristic of people that trust us. They have that diversity embedded at the company, and at the same time, they are very diverse themselves. So
Yeah, absolutely, Jorge, Alejandro, that was awesome. I mean, I just want to commend both of you all from migrating over from Honduras to the United States. My mother actually migrated from Argentina, Buenos Aires, to the States. So I understand that story and how many and what obstacles and challenges you all had to go through to make that move, right? And then, essentially adopt United States, the US, as your new home. Right. And that's not an easy task. And, being a representation of our people and showing that, you can come to the States and get after what exactly, get after your goals and what exactly it is you want to accomplish. Right. So that's amazing. In light of Hispanic Heritage Month, being that Summa Wealth is minority owned, right. And, with the Hispanic culture, we wanted to shed light on your company and, evangelize to the mass, what exactly it is that Summa Wealth does, and, wanted to get an understanding from your point of view, right? What does Hispanic Heritage Month mean to you? And, how are you all incorporating, diversity, equity, inclusion over there at your organization?
Yes, of course. So I'll start by telling you a little bit about Summa, if that's okay, and then I'll move to the other questions. Hi, Sheila.
Nice to meet you. You too.
So Summa Wealth mission is to help our community, our Latinx community, build wealth. And our ultimate vision is to contribute to help close the wealth gap in our community. Right now, Latinos, even though we saw from the census recently that they are the largest cohort driving population growth at 51% versus 7% of everyone else, we are still at only 20 cents to a dollar of wealth versus white families, right? So it's great to be represented in numbers, but if we don't have economic power, we'll never really have true power. Why does this matter for everyone else, including non-Latinos? Is because this is the largest cohort entering the workforce. All new employees in America, 80% of all new employees in America entering the workforce as of the growth are Latinx. So we are going to be responsible for carrying on our shoulders Social Security, retirement, not just for Latinos, but for all Americans. So we need to start these conversations very, very early in our community, that it's no longer okay to be the biggest spenders. That is great for the American economy, as we know, and we are driving GDP growth. But it is really heartbreaking to see that we are the group that has less in emergency savings, for example. And we saw how damaging this was during the pandemic. Not only were Latinos the hardest hit with deaths during the pandemic, but also with economic hardship. So our company has the goal to change that. We don't grow up with financial education in our families, even if our parents are college educated. Both of my parents were college educated, the first in their families to go to college. They were incredibly accomplished in their own right. Yet to this day, never of them had a retirement plan, an account, no plans for the future, right?
Right.
Not that they didn't want to, they just didn't even know where to start. It wasn't a conversation. They think that buying land, that's like a retirement plan, right? I mean, I guess that's something, but it's something that we don't talk about in our communities. Now, we also have, a real disadvantage, particularly Latinos, because our parents or our grandparents come from countries where there was a lot of financial hardship and where one day they lost it all to either a devaluation or to a political change, and all of a sudden you could never pull out the money you had saved out of these banks.
Right.
So there's a lot of layers there when it comes to distrust to financial institutions, even to new fintech companies, that we need to explain to our younger generations that this is a different country, that there are so many other things set in place, that putting money under the mattress is not serving at all to building wealth in our community. So we are on a mission to change this, to have really fun, easy to understand conversations about wealth building, doing it in a very pop culture and in culture way. And we are hyper focused on the youth, on Gen Zs and on millennials, because we know they are the influencers in their families, and eventually we will have the entire family with us. But even if we are able to really super serve them, they are 80% of the under 34 that are US born in this country. So that is a massive market to really empower and support, and that no other fintech brand is doing at the moment.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that story, and I love what you all are providing to, Hispanics. And it starts with education, right? And you made a good point. A lot of people just don't know where to start, right? And they have sometimes also, since they don't have the resources or the connections, it becomes very hard for them to, obtain, those point of contacts, right? In order to build their wealth and generational wealth at that, right? So that way it lasts and it helps not only their immediate family, but their grandchildren and great grandchildren, right? So I think that's absolutely amazing. And I mean, you gave such a great description of, what Sumo Wealth does. Well, from maybe a little bit personal perspective, what does Hispanic Heritage Month kind of mean to you, and how are you guys advocating it within your organization, or again, diversity, equity, and inclusion? How are you guys baking that into you guys' foundation?
Yeah, listen, I'm an immigrant, so I had never heard about Hispanic Heritage Month until I moved to this country. So it really didn't mean anything to me. I now understand that it's like the one time of year where everybody sort of like, highlights Latinos. And listen, we're grateful. I'd love for it to happen year round and not just for 1 month a year. I think our contributions are year round and not only between September and October. But listen, we'll take it. We're so invisible in so many ways in this country that we'll take a year of highlight instead of nothing. So that's fine. But the reality is that everything we do at Summa is about diversity, equity, and inclusion. We announced our latest round of funding yesterday, and the thing that I am most proud as a CEO and a co-founder is our very diverse cap table, right? Yes. We have 77% females on our cap table, female investors, and 72% are Latinx. Right? So that is unheard of. I don't think there's a cap table for sure in fintech, and I don't know of any other company in the US, not in Latin America, because then that would be easy, but in the US that has that diverse cap table. So we are very intentional in who is in our cap table, who are our advisors, who will potentially, if we do well, benefit from the growth and the success of the company. So everything that we do is to really support that wealth building in our community, from obviously the audience that we serve, including our funders, including our investors. So we're very intentional, right? We're very, very intentional on how we live that every single day. And obviously the mission of the company that's what we do. You know, we
Right.
serve a very diverse, underserved audience that very few people pay attention to. Whenever brands pay attention to Latinos in this country, it tends to be the immigrant, older, Spanish dominant. I'm not saying that that's not important. I think that's incredibly important, but they only represent 20% of the US demographic. The other 80%, which are the US born American Latinos, who are that 200% generation,
Right.
very, very proud of being Americans, but also proud of being Latinos, is that generation that is really underserved. That it's that generation that, first of all, it's massive. It's that 80% of under the 34 that doesn't feel that they belong in their own country. And, you know, with my previous startup, Me Too, and now with Suma, that is the demo that we are hyper focused. That demo that's enrolled in college, that demo that's entering the workforce at a highest rate, that demo that's buying more homes than anybody, and that demo that is craving the financial knowledge and the financial education that we are providing every day to them. So, you know, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, is in everything we do every single day. Part of our mission, part of our vision, and just part of who we are.
I love it. I love it how it's literally baked into your foundation, right? And I mean, you're a part of that story. You know, here at Cyvatar, we believe in the same thing, right? Being that our CEO and founder is African American, right? So we try and push those same values and morals and principles throughout the company, right? And also evangelize it to the community, right? So
Absolutely.
absolutely, I love it. I love, and thank you so much for sharing with us today. Amazing story. And, you know, we are so happy to have, you know, Suma Wealth as one of our clients here at Cyvatar. And we can't wait for, you know, the relationship to continue to grow.